Apprenticeship aptitude tests frequently include mechanical reasoning, assessing comprehension of mechanical principles and concepts, blueprint and diagram interpretation, and analysis of spatial relationships and movement. Mathematics is another core area, covering algebra, trigonometry, measurement conversion, and basic calculations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Expect reading comprehension questions that test the ability to understand and interpret written instructions and to identify key information within technical documents. Spatial reasoning will be evaluated through tasks involving visualizing objects in three-dimensional space, recognizing shapes and patterns, and mentally manipulating objects through folding and cutting. Problem-solving skills are assessed through scenarios requiring identification of problems, development of solutions, and making inferences. Tool identification is an important aspect, testing recognition and naming of common hand tools and power tools, plus understanding their uses and associated safety precautions. For electrical apprenticeships, the test often includes electrical knowledge, focusing on basic electrical theory and concepts, electrical circuits and components, and wiring diagrams and schematics. Construction apprenticeships may include construction knowledge covering construction materials and methods, building codes and regulations, and safety procedures. To prepare for the test, firstly, become thoroughly familiar with all of the subjects mentioned. Secondly, dedicate time to brush up on basic math skills, including algebra and trigonometry. Thirdly, practice reading and interpreting technical documents to improve comprehension. Fourthly, develop spatial reasoning abilities by solving puzzles or playing brain games. Fifthly, carefully study tool identification and usage to ensure familiarity. Sixthly, research specific knowledge related to the particular apprenticeship being applied for, such as electrical theory for electrical apprentices. Furthermore, it's important to get adequate rest the night before the test to ensure optimal performance. Arrive at the testing center on time and bring all necessary materials, such as pencils and a calculator, if permitted. Read the instructions carefully before starting the test and answer all questions to the best of your ability. If unsure about an answer, don't hesitate to make an educated guess. Effective time management is crucial, so avoid spending too much time on any single question. Basic electrical theory encompasses fundamental principles that govern the behavior of electrical circuits. This includes understanding voltage, current, resistance, and power. Voltage, measured in volts, is the electrical potential difference between 2 points driving the flow of charge. Current, measured in amps, is the rate of flow of electric charge through a conductor. Resistance, measured in ohms, is the opposition to the flow of current. Power, measured in watts, is the rate at which electrical energy is transferred. These quantities are related by Ohm's law, which states that voltage equals current times resistance, or volts equals amps times ohms. Electrical circuits can be classified as series circuits, parallel circuits, or combinations of both. In a series circuit, components are connected end to end, so the same current flows through each component. The total resistance of a series circuit is the sum of the individual resistances. In a parallel circuit, components are connected side by side, so the voltage across each component is the same. The reciprocal of the total resistance of a parallel circuit is the sum of the reciprocals of the individual resistances. The electrical components are the building blocks of electrical circuits. Common components include resistors, capacitors, inductors, diodes, and transistors. Resistors limit the flow of current in a circuit. Capacitors store electrical energy in an electric field. Inductors store electrical energy in a magnetic field. Diodes allow current to flow in only one direction. Transistors are semiconductor devices that can amplify or switch electronic signals and electrical power. Wiring diagrams and schematics are graphical representations of electrical circuits. Wiring diagrams show the physical connections between components, while schematics use symbols to represent components and their connections. These diagrams are essential for understanding how a circuit works and for troubleshooting problems. Construction materials include wood, concrete, steel, and masonry. Wood is a versatile material used for framing, sheathing, and finishing. Concrete is a durable material used for foundations, walls, and floors. Steel is a strong material used for structural support and reinforcement. Masonry includes brick, block, and stone used for walls, facades, and paving. Construction methods vary depending on the type of structure being built. Common methods include wood framing, concrete forming, steel erection, and masonry construction. Wood framing involves assembling a structure using wood studs, joists, and rafters. Concrete forming involves creating temporary molds to pour concrete into. Steel erection involves assembling steel beams and columns using bolts or welds. Masonry construction involves laying bricks, blocks, or stones in mortar. Building codes and regulations are sets of rules that govern the design and construction of buildings. These codes are designed to ensure the safety and health of building occupants. Building codes cover a wide range of topics, including structural design, fire safety, plumbing, electrical systems, and energy efficiency. Safety procedures are essential on construction sites to prevent accidents and injuries. These procedures include wearing personal protective equipment, such as hard hats, safety glasses, and gloves. Following proper lifting techniques, using tools and equipment safely, and maintaining a clean and organized work environment are important as well. Electrical apprenticeships typically cover a range of topics, including electrical safety, basic electrical theory, wiring methods, and electrical codes. Electrical safety is paramount in the electrical trade. Apprentices learn about hazards associated with electricity, such as electric shock, arc flash, and electrocution. They also learn about safety procedures, such as lockout, tagout, grounding, and personal protective equipment. Basic electrical theory provides the foundation for understanding how electrical circuits work. Apprentices learn about voltage, current, resistance, power, and Ohm's law. They also learn about series circuits, parallel circuits, and combination circuits. Wiring methods involve the techniques and materials used to install electrical wiring. Apprentices learn about different types of wiring, such as non-metallic sheet cable, metallic conduit, and cable tray. They also learn about wiring devices, such as outlets, switches, and lighting fixtures. Electrical codes, such as the National Electrical Code, are sets of rules that govern the installation of electrical systems. Apprentices learn how to interpret and apply these codes to ensure safe and compliant electrical installations. Construction apprenticeships typically cover topics such as construction safety, blueprint reading, construction math, and construction methods. Construction safety is a critical aspect of construction apprenticeships. Apprentices learn about hazards associated with construction work, such as falls, struck by objects, and trench collapses. They also learn about safety procedures, such as fall protection, excavation safety, and crane safety. Blueprint reading is the ability to understand and interpret construction drawings. Apprentices learn how to read plans, elevations, sections, and details. They also learn how to identify symbols and abbreviations used on blueprints. Construction math involves the application of mathematical principles to solve construction problems. Apprentices learn how to calculate areas, volumes, and angles. They also learn how to use surveying instruments and layout tools. Construction methods cover the various techniques used to build structures. Apprentices learn about different types of construction, such as wood framing, concrete construction, and steel erection. They also learn about different types of equipment, such as power tools, cranes, and excavators. Mechanical reasoning tests assess the ability to understand and apply mechanical principles. These tests often include questions about gears, pulleys, levers, and other simple machines. The questions may involve interpreting diagrams, analyzing forces, and predicting motion. To prepare for a mechanical reasoning test, it is helpful to review basic physics concepts and practice solving mechanical problems. Mathematics tests assess the ability to solve mathematical problems. These tests often include questions about algebra, geometry, trigonometry, and calculus. The questions may involve solving equations, manipulating formulas, and interpreting graphs. To prepare for a mathematics test, it is helpful to review basic math concepts and practice solving math problems. Reading comprehension tests assess the ability to understand and interpret written text. These tests often include passages about technical topics such as science, engineering, and technology. The questions may involve identifying the main idea, summarizing the passage, and drawing inferences. To prepare for a reading comprehension test, it is helpful to practice reading technical texts and answering comprehension questions. Spatial reasoning tests assess the ability to visualize objects in three-dimensional space. These tests often include questions about rotating objects, assembling objects, and identifying patterns. The questions may involve visualizing objects from different perspectives, mentally manipulating objects, and identifying relationships between objects. To prepare for a spatial reasoning test, it is helpful to practice solving spatial puzzles and playing spatial reasoning games. Tool identification tests assess the ability to recognize and name common hand tools and power tools. These tests often include pictures of tools and require the test taker to identify the tool. The questions may also involve understanding the uses and safety precautions associated with each tool. To prepare for a tool identification test, it is helpful to study a list of common tools and their uses. Electrical knowledge tests assess the understanding of basic electrical theory and concepts. These tests often include questions about voltage, current, resistance, power, and circuits. The questions may involve solving electrical problems, interpreting electrical diagrams, and applying electrical codes. To prepare for an electrical knowledge test, it is helpful to review basic electrical theory and practice solving electrical problems. Construction knowledge tests assess the understanding of construction materials and methods, building codes and regulations, and safety procedures. These tests often include questions about wood framing, concrete construction, steel erection, and masonry construction. The questions may involve interpreting blueprints, applying building codes, and following safety procedures. To prepare for a construction knowledge test, it is helpful to study construction materials, methods, codes, and safety procedures. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a widely adopted standard for the safe installation of electrical wiring and equipment in the United States. It is updated every 3 years by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. The NEC contains a comprehensive set of rules and regulations covering all aspects of electrical installations, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. The NEC is organized into articles, chapters, and sections. Articles cover specific topics, such as wiring methods or grounding. Chapters group together related articles. Sections provide specific requirements for a particular aspect of an electrical installation. For example, NEC Section 310.15 provides requirements for ampacity of conductors. The NEC is used by electrical inspectors, contractors, and engineers to ensure that electrical installations are safe and compliant. It is also used as a reference by manufacturers of electrical equipment to ensure that their products meet safety standards. Understanding the NEC is essential for anyone working in the electrical industry. It provides a comprehensive set of rules and regulations that must be followed to ensure safe electrical installations. Apprenticeship programs typically include training on the NEC to ensure that the apprentices are familiar with the code and its requirements. In addition to technical knowledge, apprenticeship aptitude tests may also assess soft skills, such as teamwork, communication, and problem solving. These skills are important for success in any trade. To prepare for the soft skills portion of the test, it is helpful to practice working in teams, communicating effectively, and solving problems. You can also ask friends and family to give you feedback on your soft skills. Remember to arrive early on the day of the test and bring all necessary materials. Read the instructions carefully and answer all questions to the best of your ability. Don't be afraid to ask questions if you are unsure about anything. And most importantly, relax and try to do your best. Good luck.